This is Cashing Out on VSiN, the sports betting network.
All right, let's have some fun. It's time for Cashing Out with Joe Ceraulo. Going to take you through your Wednesday night. And this postseason just keeps getting better and better. Doesn't matter if it's the Stanley Cup playoffs, the NBA, you name it. These playoff games over the past week and a half or so have been absolutely bonkers. We're not going to waste any time here. We are diving right in because my New York Knicks just became the first team in NBA playoff history to pull off back-to-back 20-point comebacks. How about the Knicks? They were down 20 for the second straight time against a team that was an $8 favorite on the series price in the Boston Celtics. And this team just has absolutely no quitting them. Unbelievable. Ice in the veins. Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges. I mean, Bridges, it's like Groundhog Day for him, right? He goes through another game where he's a complete no-show in the first three quarters, and then down the stretch when he's needed the most, he shows up on both ends of the court. 14 points for Bridges. Tremendous fourth quarter performance. Defense at the end, stripping Tatum. I mean, tell me you've seen this one before. Absolutely unbelievable. As in, could not believe my eyes. As this is going down, I'm sitting there laughing. I'm going, look, I'm going to get my hopes up. This is too good to be true. There is no way the Knicks are going to pull this off. Karl Anthony Towns, what a beast on the glass. Speaking of beasts on the glass, how about Mitchell Robinson? Really down the stretch with Towns notching 4 fouls, gave the Knicks some great defense, some great rebounding, pure toughness. He the best plus-minus on the team, plus 19 for Big Mitch coming off the bench. Josh Hart, leading scorer. Who had that on your bingo card? 23 points. Jalen Brunson got off to a terrible start, finished incredibly. I mean, look at these New York Knicks. By the way, how about the fact that despite the 2-0 lead and despite the fact that they are minus $1.35 now to win the series, I was thinking you still might be able to get plus money on them despite the 2-0 lead. How about the fact that when you look at the series correct score, the 6 exactas that are on the board there, the shortest shot, Boston in 7. Ain't that something? Plus 240, Celtics in 7. Knicks in 6, on the other hand, isn't just looking juicy. It's looking sexy. Plus 475 for my New York Knicks in 6. That's worth a go New York, go New York, go right there. I think that might be the winning ticket. Nearly 5-1 to take this team in 6 games. Can they split the next 4 with Boston? Now look, the Knicks have not been great defending their home court this postseason. They've been absolute road warriors, right? Clinched it in Detroit on the road, game 6. Road team won the last 5 that series. Just 1-2 at MSG. The Knicks were against the Pistons, 3-0 on the road. Now make it 5-0 on the road this postseason. I mean, look, all they have to do is split with the Boston Celtics at home right here, games 3 and 4, and they will be sitting pretty up 3-1 with 3 to go. I mean, look, obviously I'm hoping for a sweep, and that's 5-1, interestingly enough. But I think Knicks in 6 plus 475 is one heck of an intriguing play. How about the other game going on right now? Third quarter just about to get going in OKC. 87-56. The Thunder lead it by 31. That live line, 29.5. My goodness. I mean, do we think OKC wins this one by 30 plus? I'm not saying the Nuggets are going to storm back, 30-1 on the money line. If you're interested, I mean, hey, the Knicks have come back from 20 plus back-to-back games. We've seen some wild comebacks by the Pacers, by Denver game 1. 30-1. If you want it, it's there for the taking. I think this is where the streak of road teams winning, the first 6 games of the second round of the NBA playoffs comes to an end. And I said it yesterday, right here on Cashing Out. I said, look, if I was inclined to take one team laying the 10.5, because OKC Boston last night on the program were both laying 10.5, I said I'd be more inclined to lay it with Oklahoma City because of the fact that I think Denver, coming off the Game 7, that was a 10-round knockdown, drag-out fight against the LA Clippers, right? And the Nuggets had to play Saturday, had no time to think, turn around, play again on Monday. I said that I thought that the Nuggets might have been running on adrenaline Monday night, and it might catch up to them here in Game 2. OKC had 8 days off between the Grizzlies series and their Game 1, and it showed down the stretch. That rust, which didn't show, it wasn't evident early on when the Thunder came out like a bat out of hell, but down the stretch, Denver looked like the team that was used to playing tight games down the stretch. Oklahoma City didn't. They looked like a team that just had their way with the Memphis Grizzlies. So I said Game 2, with maybe some adrenaline being settled down for the Nuggets here. If I was more inclined to lay 10.5 with one team, it would be OKC. Well, hey, 31-point halftime lead. I don't think the Thunder is slowing down. I'm not going to run to the counter and lay 29.5, now 30.5 with them for the remainder of the game, because I could see this being like Game 1 against Memphis, albeit that was a 50-point win. What I mean is where every starter plays 24 or fewer minutes, I could see the bench coming in here, and I could see Denver maybe losing by 20, 25. I don't need to touch a live 30.5-point number. But Oklahoma City, look, you can call me crazy for this. I will say they're on their way to a win. And I know the comebacks we've been seeing. I have no issue saying Oklahoma City is on its way to a victory in this game. How about the action on the ice? Scoreless first period, and Mikko Rantanen knots it up. Winnipeg, Niederreiter put him on the board first, up 1-0. And Mikko Rantanen has just answered. We've got a 1-1 game north of the border between the Jets and the Stars. Connor Hellebuyck's looked great up until that point, but hey, 1 goal in 30 minutes of action as we reach the halfway point is certainly nothing to hang your head over. 1-1, 10 minutes to go, period number 2. Winnipeg, a slight 30-cent favorite. Dallas, money line, even odds if you're into the Stars in this one. If you want to lay a puck and a half with the Jets or a goal and a half, that's plus 280. Dallas plus 1.5, minus $4. Can't advise that. Live total over-under is sitting at 5.5. We're halfway through the action. 2 goals are on the board. So we're looking at 5.5 for the live total. It's plus $1.40 to the over, minus $1.80 to the under. OKC up 91-56. My goodness. What a blowout. All 5 starters, by the way, for the Thunder were in double figures at halftime. They had 6 players in double figures at the half. All 5 starters leading the way. Who else? SGA with 18. But Jalen Williams has 15. Hartenstein has 12. Holmgren, Dort, and off the bench, Aaron Wiggins all have 10 for OKC. And by the way, for a team that had, 87 at halftime as they currently lead at 91-56, 4-0 run first 2 minutes of the third quarter. For a team that had 87 at halftime, 10 threes is good. They're shooting 10 of 24 from beyond the arc. But it's not like it's some historic, otherworldly pace, right? Really a lot of this has been done inside the perimeter. They're shooting 58% from the floor. 10 of 24, it's 42% from 3. But from 2, they're 22 of 31? It's insanity. Making over 70% of their shots from 2. Denver just not contesting anything. Jokic and Russ each have 15 for the Nuggets. By the way, how about the way Russ has seemingly reinvented himself? Westbrook has had a great postseason. Even on a night where none of his teammates are picking up the slack, Westbrook trying to give them a spark when he's in there. It's, at this point, anything you do is going to be too little too late. 35-point game, second half. This one's going to be done. But Joker and Russ each with 15. Going to be interesting. Know some people were on Jokic over 13.5 boards. He's at 7. So 7 at the half would put you on pace to go over. But I wonder how many minutes he's going to get here. This might be a game where you see the starters come out early and the benches get emptied. Got some live baseball as well that we're yet to touch on. How about the Rockies? Got out of a bases-loaded jam in the 7th inning. Now it's the top of the 8th, 6-6. Tigers, Rockies at Coors. Detroit minus 20 cents to the money line. Colorado minus 10 cents. That's actually just flipped. Looks like the Rockies got out of the top of the 8th. They are now 25-cent favorites. Toronto in Anaheim. Jose Barrios got the nod for the Jays in this one. We've got a pitcher's duel. It's 1-0 Blue Jays. It was 0-0 in the 5th. Toronto has just gotten on the board against former Blue Jay, Yusei Kikuchi. I was actually at a Blue Jays-Angels game once, a couple years ago on Easter Sunday, where Kikuchi was the starter for Toronto. Now he's going up against his old team, and it is 1-0 Blue Jays with Anthony Santander on second base, no outs, top of the 6th as they lead. If you had your first 5 under, congrats. That cashed with ease in that one. Folks, if you love betting on baseball as much as I do, ProfitX is offering the best odds all season long. ProfitX is a peer-to-peer sports exchange available in over 40 states, the first of its kind in the U.S. You'll be able to make your picks against other groups of fans rather than against the books. Exchanges guarantee you the best odds on average by 10 to 20%, and you can even request your own odds. So download ProfitX today, code VEASAN, earn up to $200 in profit cash over your first month, and don't just take my word for it. Bet against me on there. I've been loving this. Every time I'm home in California, it is the best way for me to bet baseball on the daily. So we head to the bottom of the 8th at Coors. Michael Toglia, who's 2 for 3 with a home run, a double, and 2 runs batted in, will lead it off, followed by Bouchard and Mickey Moniak for the Rockies, as they've had a little offensive outburst. Just 6-28 on the year. On pace for a historically bad season is Colorado. Let's see if they've got anything in their bats coming up after the break. It's Cashing Out with Joe Ceraulo.
Welcome back to Cashing Out here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Cashing Out continues with me, Joe Ceraulo, taking you through a Wednesday night here on the program. We've got a couple of baseball games going on right now, playoffs, NHL, NBA, you name it. Dallas, Winnipeg tied at 1. Big game 1, mainly for the Jets, north of the border. Got to defend your home ice. They were 4-0 at home against St. Louis. Home team won all 7 games, a rarity when that happens. That was a phenomenal opening series. Now let's see if Connor Hellebuyck seems to have shaken those demons after falling down 2-0 and 3-1 early to St. Louis. Settled in, delivered for Winnipeg in the final, 30 minutes of regulation, Game 7, and then how many minutes did they go? 35 minutes in the 2 overtimes. So Hellebuyck with a really strong hour plus there, not allowing anything Game 7, carried that over into the first period and a half here in this Game 1. So he's in a bit of a rhythm here. Let's see if Hellebuyck can keep it going. If the Winnipeg Jets, I'm rooting for this team. If they can ride some momentum here. I know that this is Bettman's worst nightmare, having a team from a market like Winnipeg go far. But I love this team. I would love to see the Jets, a team that won the President's Trophy and got absolutely zero love. I would love to see them go on a run this postseason. And right on cue, Dallas from the point makes it 2-1. Unbelievable. That didn't look like it was anything. Did that get tipped? I mean, there's no way. Not Rantanen again. You can't tell me that was. Are you kidding me? Was that Rantanen again? If so, yeah, let's see. From the point. And then deflected in, and Rantanen, is that his second goal in this one? Holy crap. That would be, 5 goals in the last 3 periods of work? I mean, this is unbelievable stuff. Mikko Rantanen, his 6th goal of the postseason. I can't believe my eyes here if that's the case. Give him 2 tonight. Did he get the... Oh, no, that was Harley with the earlier one. Thomas Harley. So Rantanen now, 4 goals in... Oh, wait. No, hold on. Was that Rantanen? Let me see if I can get this straight here. Because I'm seeing contradicting... Yeah, Rantanen's got both. Harley... All right, that came up incorrectly in the box score. Harley is the one who who let it go from the point. Rantanen tipped it in. So that's 2 goals for Mikko Rantanen tonight. Make it 5 in his last 3 periods of work. Unreal. What a trade that was. Unreal. Mikko Rantanen with 2 goals in this game and 5 going back to the 3rd period of Saturday night's Game 7 against Colorado. He has been absolutely insane. And just as I'm giving Connor Hellebuyck all the praise in the world and how he might have turned things around in the blink of an eye, 2-1, Dallas. Back-to-back goals, Rantanen the tip-in from Thomas Harley. So they'll go to commercial. 5 minutes to go, 2nd period. Dallas leading it 2-1 over the Jets. The Stars were even money on the money line. Now after that goal, they're minus 345. Winnipeg money line plus 250. That over-under is still 5.5, but it's split 15 cents in each direction. Stars puck line plus $1.20. Jets puck line plus 1.5 is minus 155. On the court, OKC up 32. Halfway through the 3rd quarter, it's 99-67 Thunder as Jokic puts one in, makes it 99-69. I mean, this is just an absolute bloodbath. SGA, a game-high 22 for the Joker. That was his first bucket of the 3rd quarter. I mean, Oklahoma City is just running Denver out of the gym, as they should, after that Game 1 collapse, losing that 121-119, blowing a 20-point lead. The Thunder not leaving any room for doubt in this one tonight. And they've been doing it really all in the paint. That continuing over here. I don't think they have a 3 in the second half. 0 for 1 beyond the arc, second half, not even attempting it, having their way inside the perimeter. How about it from 2? They're 25 of 36. I mean, just shooting insanely efficiently from 2-point range. Also, getting to the line at will, 21 of 22 from the free throw line, 96%, 1 missed free throw. So Oklahoma City just doing everything well. Holmgren's got a double-double in this one. Hartenstein, 2 boards away from a double-double. SGA, 3 assists away from his own. The Thunder just having their way with Denver, up 32 as we have officially reached the halfway mark in quarter number 3. Tigers had the bases loaded in the top of the 7th. Now in the bottom of the 8th, it's the Rockies who have loaded them up against Tommy Kahnle, who's been absolutely nails this year for Detroit. Kahnle has been Mr. Consistency in the back of that Tigers bullpen, pitching to a .71 ERA and a .55 whip on the season. So the Rockies have him loaded. Chilly night, 47 degrees at Coors Field. Leadoff hitter, Brendan Doyle. He's 1 for 4 with an RBI. He'll be up with the bases juiced and 2 outs. In Anaheim, as they head to the 7th, Reed Detmers on to pitch for the Angels. This might be a time to get in on the Blue Jays. Detmers has been atrocious lately. Wow, how about this? In a tie game, Toronto money line is minus $2. You think they're on to Reed Detmers? The odds makers, that is. Toronto minus 210 it's now up to. Angels plus $1.60. That's bizarre. In a tie game in the 7th inning to have one team minus $2. But Detmers in to pitch. He's been absolutely horrible for the Angels as of late. He's got that ERA up to 8 on the year. In his last 2 outings, his ERA has gone up in his last 2 outings from 2.57 to 8.16. He's gotten 1 out in 2 outings and given up 9 earned runs. On Wednesday, April 30th, he came in to face Seattle, gave up 5 runs, didn't record an out. On Thursday, May 1st, the very next day, after throwing 12 pitches and giving up 5 hits and 5 earned on 12 pitches, very next day he comes in, records 1 out against the Tigers, gives up 4 earned. So make it 9 earned in a span of, 24 hours? And 1 out. Been terrible for Detmers as he's moved the 25-year-old from the rotation to the pen here for the Angels this season. Don't forget, this is a guy with a no-hitter under his belt. I mean, how hard is that to believe that this is the same guy who has thrown a no-hitter in the past? Now he can't get an out. Terrible. Doyle for the Rockies. Put some wood on it, right to third. How about that? Line out, L5 on your scorecard. And Tommy Kahnle, just by the hair on his chinny chin chin, gets out of it. They'll head to the ninth and Coors, tied 6-6. Don't tell me that was Rantanen again. Dallas, 3-1. Oh, my goodness. Who is this now? Is that no, that's not. Rantanen might have got. Was that an assist for Rantanen? Tipped in. Yeah. Wow. And I think that was deflected. I don't even think that was a centering attempt. It looked like a shot that got deflected by the Jets defender and then tipped in. Wow. 3-1 Stars. I'll tell you, hockey is a difficult sport to. Oh, are they giving Rantanen that goal that wasn't tipped in? Unbelievable. A third hat trick. Or a third goal, back-to-back hat tricks, excuse me, for Mikko Rantanen. I was just saying, hockey is a difficult sport to do a live show on when you have no audio and you can't exactly hear the action because of how fast they're moving. But wow, I thought that was tipped in. Rantanen with another goal. You can't make this up. He has scored single-handedly 6 goals in his last 60 minutes of hockey. 6 goals, 3 periods, and 2.5 minutes to go here in the second if he wants to make it 7. Unbelievable. He's recorded hat tricks in back-to-back games in a single period, and Winnipeg gets one. Wow. The Jets wasting no time answering. All of a sudden, that over-under 5.5, that when we first visited, that was plus $1.40 to the over, and during a 1-1 game, now it's on the verge of hitting. 3-2. Stars lead it. Rantanen, 6 goals in less than his last 60 minutes of hockey. This has to be the craziest goal-scoring run in maybe NHL Stanley Cup playoff history. Unbelievable. More cashing out with Joe Ceraulo up next. We'll get some best bets from our buddy Tanner Kern from over at DraftKings Sportsbook. You don't want to miss it.
Welcome back to Cashing Out here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Cashing Out continues with me, Joe Ceraulo, taking you through the late hours of your Wednesday night, right on into your Thursday morning here on the program. And now, joining us over on the Progressive Guest Line, it's our buddy from DraftKings Sportsbook, terrific content creator over there, Tanner Kern, with some best bets for Thursday. Tanner, NBA playoffs have been absolutely wild. How are you, my friend? What do you make of this Warriors-Wolves game with no Steph, game 2?
Definitely going to be an interesting one here. I'm going to take the Timberwolves minus the 10.5. It's a big number, but I still trust them in this spot. When Steph was on the floor for the Warriors in game 1, he was cooking, shot 55% from the field, scored 13 points in 13 minutes, but won't be the case in game 2. Obviously not going to play with the injury. Jimmy Butler said Steph is the Warriors' best player, and this is true. And we're going to see that, I think, coming into this game. There's nowhere to go but up for Minnesota, nowhere to go but improve, especially from the three-point line. You know, with or without Curry, you can't shoot 17% from 3 in the NBA and expect to win. You know, we go to the Celtics series against the Knicks. You can't shoot poorly from 3 and expect to win games, and that's the case for Minnesota here. So I do think we're going to see an uptick from 3, and I think they're going to be better. Warriors made 13 more threes, and they won the game 1 by 11. So without Curry and a little bit better of a shooting night, I think Minnesota can really flip the script. The 3 is going to be open, especially if they can kick and drive. And, you know, they dominated game 1 in the paint, and that's an area where I think they're going to continue to win with Golden State's small lineup. So again, they need their guys like Ant-Man to DiVincenzo. Everybody has to step up because that's why they were able to beat the Lakers. But again, if they can continue to force their will on the inside, it's going to open up the outside. And when they get those looks, they need to knock them down. If they do that without Steph on the floor, I think they can win this game by upwards of 11 points and cover the spread.
You know, Tanner, you brought it up. I wasn't going to bring up your Celtics. I'm still riding the high from my Knicks winning game 2. I mean, the amount of history that's been made so far in the NBA playoffs, whether it's the Knicks, first team ever, back-to-back 20-plus point comebacks, the Celtics, most missed threes in a 2-game span, 75 misses. You know, it's crazy, though, and this is the correlation where it all ties together. You mentioned Minnesota and the Celtics. They've both made history in the last, 24 to 36 hours. The Celtics for the most misses from beyond the arc in a 2-game span. And Minnesota for the lowest percentage. They're shooting under 16% from 3 in their last 2 games, even going back to the game 5 that they won at the Lakers. So does Ant-Man, who was, really strong in the second half, game 1, but he was absent from beyond the arc, had 1 point at halftime. Does he kick it into a new gear in game 2? What prop are you on for Anthony Edwards?
Yeah, he's really been up and down from a scoring perspective. Joe, I appreciate you bringing the Knicks Celtics game up again.
Yeah, more on that to come, man.
Yeah, more on that to come. I'm still disturbed, but anyways, I'll try to keep it together for the Anthony Edwards prop here. Over 35.5 points plus rebounds. Again, been up and down from a scoring perspective. He did easily surpass this line in game 1 on a bad scoring night. 1 of 5 from 3. It was clear he wasn't feeling it because when he is, he's really taking upwards of 10 threes per game this season. He can shoot 40% from 3 when he's really effective. He's great driving downhill, getting to the basket. He's just doing a lot of things on the aggressive side where we just didn't see that as much in game 1. Looking at the rebounds, though, he's been fantastic throughout the entire NBA playoffs so far. Coming off a 14 rebound game, had 11 in the closeout game against the Lakers. With the Warriors being an undersized team, Edwards has a lot more opportunities to go in and get those boards. So I think he's really going to have a good game there. I can't say if he's going to be more efficient from the field. Again, going back to Celtics game, I thought they'd be more efficient from the field tonight. Obviously, that didn't happen. So, hopefully he can turn it up a little bit from a shooting perspective, but the rebounds are going to be there. And I do trust star players to get back on track. Ant-Man is a guy who knows this is a must-win game coming into it. I think he's going to step up here and go over this line.
All right, Tanner, it seems like you got a lot to get off your chest. So let's talk Celtics Knicks. My Knicks up 2-0 in the series. A couple of absolutely insane games. Game 3, Saturday, Madison Square Garden, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Your Celtics are laying about 5.5, depending on the shop, as at the opening line here. Do you think they get back on track? Do you think they cover? What are your thoughts as this series shifts back to Madison Square Garden in New York City?
So I don't want to toot my own horn, but I actually had 2 plays tonight that did hit. Celtics first quarter spread, Celtics halftime spread.
There you go.
I wasn't necessarily super confident with the 10.5 points. Obviously, as the game was going on with 3 minutes left in the third quarter, I said, man, damn, I should have took the 10.5 points. But luckily I didn't. So going to this game, though, I have to lay the points with the Boston Celtics. I got to take my fandom out of it, and I think the Celtics are the better team here. We were talking before who's going to win this series. You can take it from 2 sides. The Celtics have had 20-point leads in each game, and I don't want to jinx myself, knock on wood here, but the bottom line is I don't think the Knicks can get a 20-point lead, right? But they can come back from a 20-point lead. So whatever side you think is more important there, the team that can score and put a team away or the team that can come back, that's the side I would recommend taking here. But for Boston, I think I heard the stat tonight, they only lost back-to-back games 3 times this season. I have a hard time believing they're going to lose 3 in a row and go down to the Knicks. And maybe it's just because of how they played against the Knicks this season. But I'm definitely rattled. I don't know if you can tell right now. I don't know what to say. And realistically, I trust this team to bounce back, but how they were tonight, it's hard to trust them. You can't blow 2 20-point leads in the playoffs and not expect it to come back and bite you. I still think Boston has a great chance to win this series, and we're going to see the odds shift drastically if they can come in and win game 3. But it's going to be a tough task on the road in New York.
Well, I'll give you credit, man. For a guy who doesn't know what to say, you are pretty well spoken, as always. I will say, I would rather play the Knicks plus $1.80 on the money line as opposed to laying 35 cents on the series. I mean, to me, it's just playing money line every game as opposed to laying that, because they're going to be underdogs every game, I'd imagine, on an individual basis. Why lay 35 cents on the series price? Tanner, let's head over to the Diamond. Your Red Sox taking on the Rangers Thursday. Brian Bayo on the bump against Leiter. What do you like?
So at the Red Sox game tonight, sitting there in person, which was great. I got to see a win while I saw the Boston Celtics crumble on my iPhone. But Rangers, Red Sox, back to the Sox. I can't just keep going back to them. I am disturbed again. But Rangers, Red Sox under 9.5 runs tonight. little bit of a higher scoring game. Willie Abreu had a big offensive night. Alex Bregman's the only thing keeping this Red Sox team alive right now. There's not a lot of players hitting consistently besides Bregman. So Rangers Red Sox under 9.5 going into the getaway game tomorrow. Boston's bullpen can make any offense look effective. Obviously, they did a decent job tonight. But the Rangers really haven't run up the score this season. They've been really struggling offensively. They're 28th in baseball in runs scored. And heading into tonight, they were 25-11 to the under. So this is a big under team. You're getting a nice 9.5 number here. When you look at Brian Bayo, who's going to pitch for Boston, giving up 1 home run per start, but he has been great right out of the gate following his rehab stint. I mean, he's been really effective. 2-0 with a 2.55 ER or 2.55 ERA and a 1.19 WHIP. He's going to face Jack Leiter, who does have a pretty bad walk issue. Like Bayo, they both can be a little wild at times, but when he is on, he's very effective here. So daytime start, getaway game. You look at Bayo, who's been good. Leiter has the capability and a lot of upside, and 2 offenses that are definitely very inconsistent. I will gladly take the under on 9.5 runs.
I love it. Folks, don't forget, smarter bets start right here, and they last all year long with VSiN Pro. For a limited time, we're slashing the price of our annual VSiN subscription, normally $240, now just $199. And when you sign up today, we're going to throw in 2 extra months for free. That's 14 months VSiN Pro access for less than 50 cents a day when you use the promo code PRO. Those 14 months include daily best bets, exclusive splits, 24/7 live video, and all of our special edition betting guides. So head to VSiN.com/subscribe now, promo code PRO. Lock in your 14 months of VSiN Pro for just $199. Our friend Tanner Kern from DraftKings Sportsbook with us now on the Progressive Guest Line. Tanner, 2 minutes to go. 2 more plays on the Diamond Coors Field doubleheader. What do you like game 1? Casey Mize opposite Kyle Freeland.
This is my favorite play of the day. Tigers run line against the Rockies, getting a really good price at -115. Prime run line spot. Better team on the road with a pitching and offensive advantage. Casey Mize has been tremendous this season. 5-1, 2.70 ERA, whip right around 1. And he's going against Kyle Freeland. Freeland's not good. 8.53 ERA at home, 4.18 ERA on the road. So I would say that's closer to his average. Obviously, the elevation at Coors Field doesn't help him. But 8.53 ERA at Coors is just really bad. I expect Casey Mize's numbers to inflate a little bit pitching there, but at the same time, too, he should be better than Freeland. Offensively, Colorado's 30th in runs, Detroit's 7th. I mean, we gave the White Sox a lot of crap last year for how they played. You know, Colorado said, hold my beer this year. So it's a spot where I really like the Tigers.
I'm with you. I think I'm going to run to the counter on that one, too. Take us home, Dodgers, D-backs, Yamamoto. He's been phenomenal. He gets no run support. What's your play here in the final 30 seconds?
First half, first 5 is what I'm going with, -0.5 for the Los Angeles Dodgers. You look at Yamamoto, has been the best pitcher in baseball this season. 0.9 ERA, 0.93 whip in 40 innings. Keeps the ball in the yard, has a lot of strikeouts. Guy that I want to bet on consistently. You look at Brandon Pfaadt, he's been good. I don't want to disrespect him by any means, 3.79 ERA. But I just think the Dodgers are going to be able to get a few more runs early off him than the Diamondbacks are going to get off Yamamoto. And if that's the case, the Dodgers are going to cover the first half run line.
Tanner, my man, you're the best. Sorry about your Celtics. Not really sorry. I'm thrilled about it. But thanks so much for hopping on, man. Appreciate the time.
Thanks, Joe. Good luck with the Knicks, man.
Make sure you follow him on Twitter at TannerKern_. Check out his terrific work over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Folks, more picks, more winners, more cashing out with Joe Ceraulo up next.
Welcome back to Cashing Out here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Are those the Colorado Rockies or the Bad News Bears? My goodness, Detroit in extras has taken an 8-6 lead. It was 7-6. Should have been the final out of the top of the 10th, and the Rockies left fielder running in on a fly ball. Shortstop was running out. It just hit off the left fielder's glove. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I don't know if he heard the footsteps from the shortstop, if he got worried about a collision, heard a little pitter-patter, let's get at her, but wow, I don't know how you drop that. I mean, I might resign right now and go try out for the Rockies. 6-28, I could catch a fly ball. That is embarrassing. Detroit gets 2 bags out of it. They replace Torkelson on second. Javi Baez up. Tigers up. 8-6, top of the 10th. Hoping to cash in a run line bet if you had it tonight. I'll tell you what, I might Tail Tanner. I was looking at that game tomorrow. Casey Mize on the bump opposite Kyle Freeland. And, I hate betting on doubleheaders. I just, weird things happen in doubleheaders, right? I gave out a Reds first 5 play last week. Game got postponed. I was debating going back to it, but I stayed away. And, the doubleheader against the Cardinals, it was like Michaelis versus, I believe it was Singer for the Reds, and I liked that pitching advantage for Cincinnati. Couldn't go back to it on the doubleheader, and we saw like a 1-0 game, right? Sometimes guys come out snoozing in the first leg, the early game in a doubleheader. So normally, when I see a doubleheader, I like to stay away from both games. Casey Mize has been really good. Even his last time out, if you recall, gave up 4 runs in 4 innings against the Angels, settled in beautifully, ended up giving Detroit 7 innings of work, and the Tigers covered the run line in Anaheim that night. I think we had Detroit money line in that spot. Nonetheless, got home with a win, and Casey Mize has just been terrific this year. So Javi Baez goes down swinging. The Rockies, down 8-6, will come up in the bottom of the 10th, trying to salvage this one. We're through 7 in Anaheim. Toronto leading it 4-2. There are times you hate to be right, and I didn't have a dog in the fight, but I said, Reed Detmer's coming in. Toronto's probably going to win this game, and Detmers, we talked about how his last 2 outings, hasn't pitched in almost a week, since May the 1st. Last 2 outings, April 30th, May 1st, back-to-back nights, recorded 1 out, allowed 9 earned across 2 nights. Well, he records no outs in this one, faces 3 batters, throws 9 pitches, allows 3 hits, 3 earned runs. His ERA in 3 outings has gone from 2.5 to 10. 10.05. It's actually sad. Reed Detmers is going to be DFA'd tomorrow. He's either going to be sent down to AAA or he's going to be let go. I mean, this is sad. It's actually, I hate to be right. This 3-start stretch, or 3 outings rather, his last 3 appearances, he has recorded 1 out and allowed 12 earned runs. I might have to shift gears. Instead of trying to be the next left fielder for the Colorado Rockies, I might have a spot in the Angels bullpen. I'd bet I can get 2 outs without allowing 12 earned runs at the major league level. I could get 2 outs before I allow 12 earned. I mean, this is actually really just sad at this point. So the Jays up 4-2. Connor Brogdon in to pitch for the Angels, making his team debut. 30 years old. It's his 6th season, parts of 6 seasons in Major League Baseball. Was a Philly for 4 years. Toronto's got the leadoff batter on in the 8th. I believe that was that Ernie Clement? No, Ernie Clement is up now. That was Alejandro Kirk hitting .270, the catcher for Toronto, as the Jays lead at 4-2. We'll get you live odds there as well as in the Rockies game. Toronto, run line -2.5. If you think they get Kirk around to score here, -2.5 is plus $1.40. Over 7.5 runs in the game, there's currently 6, -110. Angels money line plus 650, Jays -1150. The Rockies obviously have a guy on second, so they're down 2, but you got that ghost runner in scoring position. They're plus 260 on the money line. Plus 1.5, Colorado is -45 cents. So if you think they get the ghost runner home and lose at 8-7, you can get it -140 now. Speaking of the number 40, that's the lead Oklahoma City has over Denver. This is unbelievable. 42 points the Thunder lead it by, and there's another turnover. Can they make it 44? Can they make it 45? I mean, this is crazy. Oklahoma City replicating their Game 1 win against Memphis in the opening round of the playoffs. SGA has 34 points. Have to imagine his day is done. The Thunder, can they win this one by 50? Live line is 41.5. They're up 43. This is absolute insanity. Jokic, 17 points, 8 boards. I can't imagine that there's any need to keep him out there much longer. SGA's got 30 minutes, 9 to go in the game. He's played the most minutes. I mean, empty your bench. Get these guys out of there, right? Holmgren's got the double-double. Hartenstein, 14 and 8. SGA, 34 points, 8 dimes. Jalen Williams with an E, 17 points, 7 dimes. Get your starters out of there. 43-point Thunder lead. This is an embarrassment. First, by the way, they're going to become the first home team to win in the second round of the NBA playoffs. First home team, first favorite. It's been a round of the dogs. Knicks, Pacers, both up 2-0 in the East. Nuggets, Warriors, both went up 1-0 in the West. Now Denver down 44 points. This is astonishing. It really is. Make it 42 as the Nuggets hit a floater in the paint. Third period underway in Winnipeg. We are 3 minutes in. I didn't even see that resume in the top right corner here. 3-2 Stars with 17 minutes to go. Quick stoppage on the ice. The Jets, if you think they can come back as they've done time and time again in the third period, they are 3-1 on the money line. If you think Dallas can cover the puck line, laying a goal and a half, it's plus $1.20. Winnipeg plus a goal and a half, minus 155. That live total, 7.5 overs, 2-1. So there's 5 goals scored. That would need 3 more this period. They just had 5 in the second period. And, oh, wow, that's come down. Yeah. Plus 210, over 7.5 goals there. Let's see if the Jets have a little more comeback magic in them. Rantanen with a hat trick all in the second period. So he had a third period hat trick against Colorado, Game 7, and now a second period hat trick in Winnipeg, Game 1. Unreal. He's delivered hat tricks in back-to-back games in a span of 2 out of 3 periods. That is unheard. I mean, I can't imagine that's ever happened before. A hat trick in 2 out of your last 3 periods. Giving Rantanen 8 goals now on the postseason. Colorado down to their final out. Had first and second with none out. Just hit into a double play. So now they've got a guy on second and 2 outs. They erased the lead runner. It was a 5-5-3 double play by Detroit. So Colorado now down 8-6, down to their final out. Looks like we're headed to, is at the bottom of the 7th. Nice play. Who's the third baseman in Anaheim? Another, 5-5-3 double play there. That's pretty bizarre. Both games going on right now. Both just had 5-5-3 double plays. Head to the bottom of the inning in Anaheim, bottom of the 8th. Angels down 4-2. Let's see what those odds look like. Colorado down to their final strike here. If you want to take a flyer on them, 30-1 money line, 6-1 plus 1.5. Well, a base hit would get you that. Angels 5-1. They've shortened up. Toronto was minus 11.50. They're now minus $8. Needing to get 6 more outs to win it in Anaheim. Stars just began a power play in Winnipeg. Let's see what that puck line is. Only plus 110 now that they're on the power play. And that's currently frozen over at DraftKings. Let's see if Dallas can expand their lead as Colorado ends the game with an F9, 8-6. The final. Tigers take game 1. Think we're going to go back to Detroit run line. Hopefully it's a little more sweat-free than this run line was, although it got home. Think we're going to go back with Casey Mize on the bump. Game 1, bright and early mañana. Look at this Thursday MLB slate as the Jays and Angels are currently the only game active on the diamond. We'll look at this Thursday MLB slate coming up here shortly. But it's a power play for the Stars. They lead at 3-2. Things are getting chippy. Things are getting physical. Up north of the border in Winnipeg. We'll have the finale of this one after a little scuffle on the ice coming up next. It's Cashing Out with Joe Ceraulo. Don't go anywhere.